Hello everyone. In today's tutorial, we're going to be checking out Hue's new indexer for loading data into Solr. Specifically, we're going to be indexing online user reviews from this data file that I've loaded onto HDFS. Before we get started though, make sure you've placed the smart indexer lib directory somewhere on your HDFS. This directory contains all the required libraries for the indexer. Once you've done that, go into Hue's ini file, and under Indexer, make sure Enable New Indexer is set to True, and Config Indexer Lib's path is set to the Smart Indexer Lib location on HDFS. Now let's index. We'll give our collection a name, and select our data file from HDFS. As you can see, Hue has read our file, and we can see the data fields. Here's a nice preview of our data. It would be a lot nicer though, if we could change the date format to a Solr date. And convert this text-based star rating to integer values. And over here in the address, we could do much more interesting searches if we had the city as its own field. And looks like latitude and longitude are together in one field. In order to interpret this properly in Solr, we're going to have to split this into two fields. And from this user's IP address, it would be great if we could find out their location. We can make all these fixes with operations. Let's go back and tweak our data. For our date field, we simply change the type to date, and Hue will intelligently convert it to a Solr date. This works for most standard date formats. If we have a really weird date format, we can just use the convert date operation and define our format in there. Next we have the rating, and here we want to change the star rating to an integer rating. So we'll change the type to long, and add a translate operation. We'll set the default value to 0, and then define our translation mapping. 5 stars to 5, 4 stars to 4, 3 stars to 3, 2 stars to 2, and 1 star to 1. Now let's go and grab that city field we wanted out of the full address field. We can do this with a grok operation. A grok operation is somewhat like a regex, but it's a bit more powerful. You can read more about it in the link supplied below. Here we're using a simple regex with a named capture group to grab the city, and we're creating a child field to put that in. Next up, let's split that latitude and longitude field into two separate fields. We can use the split operation to do this. We'll set the split character to a comma, and specify the two expected output fields. Finally, we'll add the GeoIP operation to the sent from IP field. This will let us find out what country our users are from. The GeoIP operation gives us a lot of choices on what information we get about the location. In this case, we're just going to grab the country code. Now we can take another look at our preview. We can see our new fields have been added, and this looks pretty good. Let's start the indexing process. So now our indexing job is running, and it's going to take some time depending on the size of our data. Let's cut ahead. Looks like it's done. Let's take a look at our new Solr collection. Here we can see we've got all of our fields in our new Solr collection. There's the data. Now let's build a nice dashboard for it. And there you go. We now have our data in a very readable dashboard, and we can really dive in and learn more about the reviews.